Got me hot. Yeah. Got me hot.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
Welcome to another edition of BroTalk Live, the best show in late night for you by us. BroTalk, we're always on the mark. It's your main man, Jason. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight, Tuesday night, what's today? The 4th, March the 4th. The president's currently talking to people in Congress, but we don't care. We're going to start our show anyway, because we don't wait for nobody, especially that bozo. Let's kick it over to my main man, Dex. What up, bro?
Dexter Stuckey here. Super excited to be here, guys. We're going to have an amazing show today. I'm super excited about it.
We will have coverage of this little joint session. So if you don't want to watch it, feel free to come over here and we'll get you recapped, right, Dex?
Mm-hmm.
How the guy?
Okay, let's do that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show. Today, we're going to have a great show for you. Hopefully, you are watching from your bed, snuggled up nicely, and very excited to endeavor into another episode of BroTalk.
Did you enjoy your week off?
Oh, so much.
As a father of two.
Miss you guys dearly.
We missed you too, Ty. We missed you too. Eric, what up, bro? How are you?
Hey, what's up going on, man? I'm good.
You
Live
good?
from Baltimore.
Live from D-More. How is it over there? How's the hood?
It's all good.
That's good. So I know this is going to be a big politics show, at least the first half of it, but we do have some special things to get into in the second half of the show, including a wrestling moment that three of us are going to appreciate and one of us won't give a damn about. And I'll let you guys figure out who those three and who the one is. We also have a tribute coming to Angie Stone a little bit later. But first, since you're tuned in, let's kick it over to politics and let us know what you think in the comments about the things that we're talking about. This is an interactive show, so let us know what you're here. Say what's up, and we'll communicate back. All right, let's hit to the politics.
Politics as usual.
All right. BroTalk Live. We're always on the mark. I'm sorry, I was getting a little feedback there for a second, kind of threw me off. But if you haven't been watching yet, the joint sessions of Congress has happened, and El Presidente, as they call him around these parts, Donald Trump, has been on that stage acting a plumb fool. And it all started when he decided to start by kicking people out of the event altogether. Here's what happened when he kicked, I think his name is Representative Al Green out.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed.
Nothing like black people getting escorted out of political events by white people. Is, it's old as America, an American classic in that respect. Us being eliminated by the powers that be.
Can we just point out real quick that Al is from Texas? So I feel like he's redeeming Texas, because usually it's Lion Ted that's up there like representing Texas, but Al Green represents Texas. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Tonight, though, before a joint session of Congress, which will be later called, I guess in later years, State of the Union, but this is kind of the same sort of situation. Trump is calling for the renewal of the American dream, saying he opened his statement by saying America is back. He also had this declaration about our state being awake and saying that state is over.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
Killing words. Our country will be woke no longer. What a statement. We'll be asleep forever, guys. We'll never be woke again. Never to see wakeness.
This is the first time I heard him say DEI as diversity, equity, inclusion. He actually said the words, and then he specifically said race and gender. Like, this is the first time I've ever heard him acknowledge what DEI stands for and then specifically say it's about race and gender. He's never done it before.
Can you tilt your screen up just a tinge?
It looks crazy. I've been trying to like.
You're good. You're good in the screen. I'll protect you. No, you're good in the screen. Woke no longer. Eric, how do you feel about being asleep for the rest of your life?
I ain't got too far. I got about 20 more years left, so it's gonna be a last ride. It's gonna be a fun last ride.
My goodness.
My
goodness.
That was dark.
Golly. Ty, wokeness is a plight on this country apparently, and I guess he has a mandate now to end it and put us all to sleep. The Candyman has spoken. Rip Van Winkle.
So it's weird. I have a weird opinion on this situation.
Okay.
That Trump is obviously very ridiculous, right? And the things that he says, like, I think that his biggest agenda is to start a cultural war.
Of course,
he's very, very good at. But I also am not a fan of some of the things that were in the liberal movement that were meant to pacify and weren't actually doing anything. So I kind of float between. I don't mind some of those programs disappearing, and I hate the way Trump is talking about them, because everything that when he says it, it feels like a very thinly veiled euphemism for I don't like the blacks.
Yeah, speaking of I don't like the blacks, he's going as far as to allowing rich blanks to enter the country via a new kind of card, not a green card, but a gold card.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the gold card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers.
Not sure what that little middle part there he was vamping about. Didn't really blink at the end there. But how do you guys feel about the $5 million purchase price of the gold card?
There's been commentary that like people are coming from other countries, getting educated here, and they're being shipped back to their countries to compete with us. I think that's kind of what he was talking about there.
Okay.
But I think that for me, the gold card feels like a ridiculous idea. But maybe, I mean, they looked really, did you like scan the audience? They looked really proud of it. So
everyone's proud in the moment because you have to pledge your loyalty, Ty. Like they were standing literally after every statement. One side was, and then the other side was completely silent. And it was just America. Like it was completely American right now. 2025 America. Half of the nation hates him. Half of the nation wants him to rule forever. And it's weird.
It just sends that same message. Like America was founded on these ideals. And then you like stand up to be a part of that. And they're like, not you. we weren't talking about you. And that's kind of what some of these things feel like. Almost like, oh yeah, you can get a green card, but it's better than a green card because we only want rich people. We only want essentially we don't mind immigration. We only want certain types of people, and they're saying rich, but it doesn't feel like that's exactly what they mean.
No, 100%. Eric, would you fade the $5 million if you had it?
Dex, I need you to say the disclaimer first.
No. Don't do it.
Say it, Dex.
Views and opinions of Eric does not reflect those of the rest of the BroTalk Live.
Thank you, Dex. See, this is what I was talking about. See, all y'all poor pieces of white trash that voted for him, all y'all Mexicans, y'all low class black folk that thought Trump was going to do something for you. He just showed you that he don't care about black or white. He only cares about green, which is money. So he don't care nothing about none of y'all, and yet he's slowly but surely showing you and telling you what his agenda was. So all y'all that voted for him and thought that y'all was going to be better off with him in office, y'all are slowly but surely seeing that y'all in the same boat with one paddle and ain't got nowhere to go.
Okay.
You're the opposite of most people, where you start off fine and go off the rails. But I felt like you were off the rails.
Went off the rails and came back on.
You cleaned it up.
And we're good with that, right?
Yeah,
right.
first my jaw dropped, and then as he talked more, I'm like, you can pick it back up a little bit. Okay. I mean, okay, don't say nothing else.
I got the memo.
Editing.
I got the executive memo.
Dex, $5 million though. Does that make them a citizen in your eyes? Or do you think people with money are going to come over here and start throwing their money around like they're better than us citizens because they have a gold card?
Two things. One, if you like it, I love it. That's one. And then two, aren't the people in jails, like these big cases right now, Jeffrey Epstein, Diddy, Donald Trump, aren't these the people with money? Like, what are we? So we're saying the people from overseas, they have money. They're not going to come over and do the same stuff that y'all were doing here. They're going to come over here and do because they see y'all get away with it. So like, you're going to bring in more.
They'll have extra protections because they have $5 million in the gold card. You know,
but you're going to bring in more murderers and more killers and more rapists because like that is what y'all are, and that is what y'all are doing, and y'all have the same type of money that these people have. So like. You know, more of the same.
Well, it'll stimulate the economy. That's what he thinks. So.
It's painting a narrative so that they can continue to fuel a cultural war, and it's all totally ridiculous. It's like we're gonna bring over better people that are gonna create jobs and do these things, and like when rich people come into the fold, they don't create jobs for people. It doesn't trickle down. They're not going to come over here and help make things better. They're going to come over here, they're going to do their thing, they're going to be rich, and you're not going to know or feel any of it.
Like the rich people that are here now.
Correct.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And I guarantee you, he's going to open Trump Towers back up so all of them can live under one roof.
Yeah, probably. Or
so, and then he benefits from it financially as well.
And his thing is that he's saying that this will stimulate the $5 million lump sums that people are paying, I guess. I think he thinks we're going to get enough of that to rid us of the national debt and balance the budget. That's his plan. He thinks that along with the decreased government and people getting fired from federal jobs is actually going to be the thing that gets us back in line. So we're going to have to suffer for a bit. But we're going to come back.
Well, he said that a couple times. But isn't it kind of wild though that his whole thing is anti-immigration, and you literally are saying you're going to save the country with immigration?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
They don't even see that as a thing. It's not immigration.
Contradiction. That's what he is.
It's not immigration when you got money. It's something else.
I see.
It's moving. That's all you're doing. It's moving.
Yeah, you're moving.
Job creation. That's what they call it. All right, moving on, though, because how we got here was after one hell of a week. Oval Office meetings are usually a show of diplomacy, but on Friday, cameras caught something else, an unusually tense exchange between President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. And the message from the White House to Mr. Zelensky was, be more grateful.
Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very
You
strong.
will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You
was
don't have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank you?
Even today.
You
So performative, ridiculous. I invited the man there to execute a mineral deal, and ended up chastising him in front of cameras on national television. A few days later, Zelensky took to social media calling the Oval Office meeting regrettable, and pushing for a fresh start with the U.S., even floating a possible ceasefire with Russia after President Trump threatened to cut off all aid to Ukraine. He said, "I would like to reiterate Ukraine's commitment to peace. None of us wants an endless war. Ukraine is ready to come to negotiating table as soon as possible. We are ready to work fast to end the war, and the first stages could be the release of prisoners and truce in the sky." Our meeting in Washington at the White House on Friday did not go the way it was supposed to be. It is regrettable that it happened this way, and it's time to make things right. We would like future cooperation and communication to be constructive. So, in that case, Trump kind of got what he wanted, as he had to hold someone's embarrassed an ally, put his feet over the fire in order for him to grovel and Trump to get what he wants. But as tensions between the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia continue to escalate, the Kremlin in Russia made a surprising claim that Washington's foreign policy is now, quote, largely aligned with Moscow's interests. But House Speaker Mike Johnson isn't agreeing with that, pushing back hard, saying that the U.S. is not aligned with Russia and calling President Vladimir Putin dangerous and not to be trusted. Here is what Mike Johnson had to say while walking to a session in Congress.
Russia, given Trump's moves. Does it concern you that the administration's moves is giving Russians hope that they're aligned?
We're not aligned with Russia, and I don't believe any Russian propaganda. We have to bring an end to the war. What the president is doing is trying to set the table for that peace agreement to be made, and I'm very grateful that he's doing it. I encourage, as I did over the weekend, President Zelensky to come back to the table and accept the deal that was proposed, because that is the solution to get us out of this mess.
Was it a mistake for the U.S.?
All right, and moving on tonight, the trade war isn't just a headline. It's about to hit home. President Trump's new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China have officially gone into effect, and now two of America's biggest trading partners are firing back with billions of dollars in tariffs of their own. So what does that mean for us? Higher prices on everyday items, from groceries to cars, and a potential slowdown in job growth. And if you have a 401k, you've probably already felt it, because Wall Street has took a nosedive earlier this week. So let's break this all down. Overnight, the White House imposed a 25% tariff on Canadian and Mexican imports and tacked on another 10% tariff on Chinese goods. So Shein, whatever you guys call it, your days are numbered. The goal, Trump says, is about protecting American industries and bringing jobs back home. But within hours, Canada and China struck back. Canada responded with $30 billion in retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods, targeting everything from manufactured goods to agriculture. And that's just the start. They say that the number is climbing to $125 billion by the end of the month. Meanwhile, China is hitting farmers where it hurts, announcing 10 to 15% tariffs on soybeans, beef, and grain exports. So that means if you've been to the grocery store lately, you know prices are already high. But now with the U.S. farmers losing key buyers overseas, these costs could climb even higher, especially for beef, pork, and wheat-based products. And if you're in the market for a new car, good luck. A lot of those parts come from other countries as well. And then there's the stock market. Wall Street took a beating today with the Dow plunging 600 points as investors reacted to the growing trade war. So, guys, I guess my question is simple. Are all these tariffs going to make America great again, or are we just going to suffer for 4 years? What do you guys think? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dex.
He said bear with him. So
bear with him. Okay.
So I guess that's what we do. We just bear with him. We just.
Do you have confidence though? Do you think Do you think he has the plan? He knows what he's doing?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. I mean, what else? I mean, what choice do I have? Like, I don't. I mean, when you were talking, I was like, I guess I'll just eat Taco Bell because that'll be okay. I don't think they'll be affected by this.
What do you mean they won't be affected? Mexico's getting tariffs.
Yeah, but I don't think Taco Bell has anything to do with Mexico.
Okay. I don't know where they originated. Maybe. I don't know.
America.
I think the word for it.
So truthfully, I feel like we'll be fine, to be honest with you. I feel like we always are fine. Like this stuff happens and there's nothing we can do about it. And like, okay, whatever. We just
is this a situation where Ty, we didn't die 4 years ago from Trump and we feel like we can survive it this time around?
Yes and no. I feel like we'll survive Donald Trump. I do think we're in a different. I don't want people to think that we're in the same situation that we were in 4 years ago. 4 years ago, when Donald Trump entered office, he was new to politics. There were people in place who were opposing him. You remember he had to fire people. There were checks and balances. There was a lot more in place then than there is now. At this point, Trump has complete and total unchecked power, only having to answer to Elon Musk. And that's it. And so that is the situation we're in. Will this whole tariff thing back and forth raise prices? I mean, most certainly. Will you get your job increases? No, you most certainly will not. But will you survive? I hope so. I love you guys. I don't want you to perish. So we'll hold hands and see what happens. That's basically all you can do. You can't be anxious about that you can't control.
You gotta let go and let God.
Eric, do you think this is going to backfire? Not that he has to run again. This is a lame duck president, as some people would call him. There's no third term project that we're going to allow to happen.
Yeah,
you said
we're going to allow to happen.
It wouldn't be a second one.
We're going to speak things as if they are, guys, because they are.
So he was going to win a second one.
That done, Tim, though. In this current administration, he can get that done.
Can I finish my question?
Yeah, please do.
We said correct you.
Is this going to backfire? Because midterms are coming up. Elections still happen across the country, not every 4 years, but every year. There's elections happening across the country. Will this end up backfiring the fact that, people are getting fired from their jobs that are federal workers, people who are experiencing extreme price hikes with eggs being $12 a carton of eggs? Do you think this is going to backfire for Trump in the near future? Because Carville's saying, like we talked about last week, Carville's saying we got, another 35 days before all this collapses. What do you think?
For the common man, it's going to hurt very, very bad. If you're not in that tax bracket, it's going to affect your daily life.
Do you think this will cause him political harm? Like, approval ratings going down and people protesting in the streets like we were, 4 years ago?
Can't do that protest.
Why?
Like,
Like,
you
federal funding for the street? Like, what are you talking about?
better not carry your tail out there doing no
Try
protest.
it. Try it. He said no mask, so he wants to see who you are, and he's going to find out where you work. I guarantee you.
Schools.
Go do it in the streets then. If you think it's just for schools, then go do it.
But at this point, does he really care
about
about the approval rating? I mean, he's on his last 4 years, so he doesn't really care.
Allegedly, his last.
And that we need to stop that too. We do need to stop talking about approval ratings because, like, who cares?
But approval ratings create momentum, which create,
momentum for what?
People feeling pressure. No, momentum for people feeling pressure. Like, for instance, Republicans in Republican districts that are swing districts that are really thin margins that they might not win re-election if they don't get the support of their people. These are the people who end up voting for impeachment proceedings, and these are the people who help get us overturning Trump. These are the people.
Jason, I don't believe in that stuff anymore. I think I used to be you. I used to believe in.
You don't have hope.
I don't believe in polls. I don't believe in these things anymore. I think people ask questions and people tell them exactly what they think they want to hear, and then they go. If they vote, they go and do whatever it is that they feel like doing. I don't trust any of it. He said today, he was like, when he started this thing off, he was talking about how red the map was on election night, and it's just like, he ain't lying. We saw it.
Yeah, we saw it, but he's had a horrific start. Like, he's firing federal workers left and right, even people who.
What you told you he was going to do?
That's not going to have any consequence.
No,
he's firing. No. He's firing the people who voted for him. No.
Yeah,
it feels very chaotic. To be honest with you, if you look at his supporters, they're either quiet or supporting them, but no one's opposing him. Like, they still on his side.
The Republican Party is still going to toe the company line. They're not going to go against him.
But the voters.
But the voters have their representatives standing up right now, jumping up and clapping anytime he says something. So these same representatives are pushing him to these people. Everybody don't got the common sense. You have common sense. You think everybody has common sense. If everybody had common sense, Hillary Clinton would have won, but she didn't.
I've had this conversation with you before when you were like, "There's no way Donald Trump's getting back in office." And I'm like, "Where do you think you are?"
Right.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams is facing backlash tonight over a comment he made at a Black History Month event, one that's raising eyebrows and sparking debate about race, leadership, and loyalty in politics. Let's take a listen to what Mayor Eric Adams had to say that got him into all of this trouble in the first place.
So this is a biblical moment. When Jesus was on the cross, he said, "God, forgive them, for they know not what they do." All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God, forgive them. Are you stupid?
This man. I'm so glad I'm not a resident of New York City. That remark didn't go unnoticed, and when Adams sat down for an interview with New York co-anchor Kirk Menefee, also NFL on Fox broadcaster, he was pressed hard about exactly what he meant by that Negro term and who he thought he was talking about. Here's what Mayor Adams had to say when confronted.
I want to get back to an event you had at the Gracie Mansion last night, where you spoke about Black History Month, and in it you said, quote, "All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God forgive them." Are you implying that if you're Black, you have to support you?
No, not at all. I'm asking for all New Yorkers to support me.
So who are you specifically talking to when you say Negroes?
Well, who has stepped down? Who has asked me to step down? If you look at that whole speech, the speech talked about the continuation of lighting your flame and continue to light and shine. And that's what we've done in this administration with our team. So those who have called for me to allow my flame to prematurely be extinguished, that's who I'm talking about.
So you're saying all New Yorkers are Negroes?
I thought I was very clear in my definition of what I said. All New Yorkers, we got 8.3 million New Yorkers, 8.3 million people didn't call for me to step down. I get just the opposite when I'm in the streets.
polling shows that in the streets, Adam is now trailing former Governor Andrew Cuomo in a possible mayoral race, with Cuomo leading him by more than 20 percentage points. But you guys don't believe polls, so I mean, it's pointless for me to even say that. And let's not forget, Adams is already facing scrutiny over corruption allegations, and critics say his close ties with the Trump administration, which dropped those charges, are only adding to the controversy. He addressed it again yesterday in a press conference when he was asked about kind of the same situation.
Question. You made a comment last week that got a lot of criticism about Negroes asking you to step down. May God forgive them. I wanted to know why you felt you had to make that comment publicly and not speak to those Black leaders in private about your feelings towards what they had been saying about you.
Well, those Negroes knew they were wrong. Who are we kidding? And why are we trying to classify the term Negro as being a derogatory term? You got the Negro Improvement League organization. You got the United Negro College Fund. You have the National Council of Negro Women. That's not a derogatory term. I say to myself sometimes, Negro, you dropped the ball.
That's a politician right there.
The craziest part is the man sign language, like having to do. Could you imagine having to do sign language and this man is talking like this? Is like, oh, can I write that? Can I sign that? Am I allowed to say that?
Dex, you gagged when I saw your face when the woman there, the last.
Why you say that?
You don't know who she was, Dex. You didn't.
I know.
You don't.
I could tell.
You didn't see her. You can't. Tell
I could tell.
Ty, can you tell by voice?
No.
Thank you. Exactly.
That lady who was just asking the question, what color was she?
We can't tell. We cannot tell.
She was a Negro. We are unaware because
she
the
was
camera
not one of those. I can tell you that.
On that wonderful.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you for verifying my claim.
But you know,
Negroes, offensive or not?
No.
No, it's not offensive.
No, it's not offensive there. I think it's pretty obvious he was using a little slang there, and like to emphasize a point. I'm like, did you mean? Like, I don't like when we do that. Like, I hate when we're pretending we don't know things. Like I get it. He's a dirtbag. I get that he's often wrong about everything he says, but that part of the speech was obviously slang.
Eric, do you think the people who aren't familiar with the term Negro conflated Negro with the other? Do you think they conflated the two and just got confused and was like offended for the wrong word? Like,
I mean, non-Black people, yeah, I would agree that. Okay, they just heard they
close to,
they took it as the hard ER.
Exactly. That's what I feel like. They conflated the two and got confused.
I don't think that's what happened here. I think Black people who have an issue with him had an issue with him saying that.
But he was actually talking to the Black folk with the GA. So, just replace those. For the white folks, the hard ER, that's what they heard. And for the Black folk, we heard the GA ended.
Pretty much. Yeah,
pretty
Negro
much.
is GA, so I get that. No, you're right. You're right in that. Doesn't matter that he's the mayor and saying Negro. Is it wrong for a mayor to say that term?
I mean, I don't think that was a good meant for slang. I mean, sometimes it's just not good. To revert back to your common couch talk when you're making a public speech, especially when
locker room talk is
when it's regarding your behavior and your conduct. I don't think it's a most appropriate use of your linguistic skilds.
I mean, would you have felt better if you just said African American, Black? I mean,
I think I would have felt better if he just would have said people. Honestly,
yeah.
Like I feel like people would have sufficed, and we've got the same message that he was trying to say before. Like,
but he was talking to those.
Talking to the GAs.
He was like, y'all GAs, y'all stop playing.
You're right. He was talking to the GAs. Okay. Moving on, just because the show's gone long because of Trump wanting to ramble on and on. Speaking of politics, Stephen A. Smith, known for his bold statements, has this to say. He says if he ran for president in 2028, he would, quote unquote, beat them all in the Democratic primary. This is Stephen A. today on The View.
I mean, right now in the polls, you're nearly tied with Pete Buttigieg, AOC, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. You have a higher favorability than John Fetterman and Vice President Harris. What do you make of this?
I make of it that citizens, particularly on the left, are desperate. And I mean it when I say it. I think I can beat them all. And I have no desire whatsoever to run for office. I am not a politician. I am not qualified. But I know this much. When you consider who's on the other side and how he's gotten away with saying very little in terms of being coherent and articulating his thoughts clearly and concisely and what have you. This is not something that he's known to do. Yet and still, he has owned the Republican Party since 2015.
So, is this just classic Stephen A. having a take? Or is Stephen A. tapping into something real about the state of the Democratic Party in general? And, he says he has no reason to try to run. But, he did make a statement here saying that he could beat, all the contenders in the Democratic Party.
Probably could. I mean, okay. I will say though, I think it's a little irresponsible for them on a platform like The View to ask a question like that and put that out there like that, because that is kind of how we got Donald Trump in the first place. If you want somebody who is qualified, you really should only be asking questions to people like that who you know and deem are qualified. For a person to have to sit there and tell you that they're not qualified, but still say they're desperate on the left and I can beat them all, that says a lot about our political culture right now in our country.
That is an astute point. That's because Donald Trump first got the idea to be president from calling into these Fox News TV shows back in 2012.
Larry King.
Exactly, on 2012, and just ranting about how terrible Obama was. And it had the whole birth of criticism, and he launched all that. And then they asked him about what he would do if he was president. And then he started thinking about it. And before you know it, now we're here. We're here. Twice. Back. We're back.
Before you know it, doing the job he should have been doing, which is rebooting The Apprentice, and he was doing this instead, which is not what he should be doing.
I agree.
Can't watch The Apprentice anymore. What a great show, just gone to the wastelands. What a terrible. Sorry, Eric, as someone who watches First Take almost as much as I do, and is very familiar with the bloviating nature of Stephen A. Smith, do you think he's actually going to change his mind and end up running for political office?
He's a big fish in a small pond of sports media, and he doesn't want to get in that big ocean because he wouldn't survive. First of all, the GAs don't stick together, so it's not going to be that easy for him to get a nomination.
I'm mad we're the GA, not we. I'm mad at the GAs.
Well, we're not YNs, so we got to be GAs.
The GAs, I'm mad that this is a thing that's happening right now. Like, this is going to spread to being the GAs, and it's like,
I mean, I can actually say the word. But
no. I think GAs is appropriate.
It's so low.
It's just, I mean, it's just facts. That we're not going to stick together to. Nobody's going to
accomplish anything. Okay. I mean, but they stuck together for Obama. Okay. The thing about Stephen A. though, Eric, also is that Stephen A. is so confident in his debate skills because he literally argues about the most trivial things for 2 hours every day of the week. So he's used to just arguing for the sake of arguing, and he feels like he can argue with the politicians.
But that's what I mean. He's a big fish in a small pond. It's a difference between arguing with Kendrick Perkins every day and Shannon Sharp and the rest of those people that he argues and goes back and forth with to getting into a big ocean of
with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I feel like he could take Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be him like debating Marjorie Taylor Greene. One, it would be him debating an AOC, which I don't think he would win that. And then two, like, sure, like you can probably debate these people, but what about when these regular Americans come to you and be like, I can't pay my bills, this, that, and the third? He's not going to want to hear that.
He's going to say, stay off the weed.
I don't know what to tell you.
He's going to say, stay off the weed. That's what he's going to say to him.
Like, stay in your lane, Stephen.
That's what I'm saying. Stay in your lane. He's a big fish in a small pond compared to getting into a big ocean of politics.
Oh, no. So I think we should be repeating this, like, this Donald Trump, the
strategy.
I don't think this is a good strategy for us. I think we should get back to hiring people who know what they're doing.
Where they at? Where they at?
I mean, that's dead.
I don't know yet where they are.
Yeah.
However, they are out there. And so as we stated before, this is a time for the Democrats to start beginning to prop up this person that they're gonna want to take the lead. And we need to start seeing this person now. Like the problem that we had before is we don't know this person. So we have time to get to know whoever this is. You guys are gonna be propping up. So whatever quietness work you're doing behind the scenes, come and pull that curtain back. Let's get things moving.
Didn't no boy say we had 30 days? He said 30 days, right?
Yeah. Well, he
Okay,
didn't.
so y'all got
But
30
then in the
days.
same interview, remember at the end of it, he went up to 60 days. So it's
Well,
somewhere
look,
in between.
I got 60 days. Find somebody. Y'all better figure it out.
It's gonna happen.
Because if y'all don't,
I don't want to hear the word Michelle. Like, don't. We don't want to hear that. She wants nothing to do with us.
America is at this cult of personality stage in its life, and it partially happened because of Obama, because he was a very popular celebrity president, and it got pushed to the max with Trump, another celebrity president. We decided that COVID was enough, so we got someone real in there that had been in politics for 40 years, like Biden. And now we're back at the cult of personality. So I just don't know if America, Dex, as much as you say that, and Ty, as much as you say you think we should get somebody real in there, a real politician that knows, their constituents and stuff like that, I don't know if America is that America anymore. And it's partially because of how we've been and what we've worshipped for the last 25, 30 years. And that's just what it is.
and just real quick, that's a really good point, because even the ones before, like George Bush at this point is a celebrity. George Bush, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, these are celebrities. Michelle Obama, like they're celebrities. They're all signed to CAA too, right? And then they all signed to that same modeling agency. They celebrities.
The last born president we had was George H.W. Bush, and he was a one-term president, and he was out the door.
And boring. We didn't even care. Yeah.
I mean,
we scraping the bottom if we got to deal with Stephen A. Smith, bro.
I'm saying, like, that's the best we can do.
Right, we at the bottom of the barrel. We coming up with Stephen A. Smith.
Like Stephen A. Smith really got out there and said, "I'd whoop all y'all." And we on our show talking about something, probably would, which is a shame. Like, what are y'all?
Even worse though, Whoopi Goldberg sat up there and was like, "Probably." Didn't even say nothing. Like, she's just like, "What are we doing?" Because
what would she argue? She would argue a point that's like kind of true. Probably would.
What you gonna do? Yeah. What's the argument? There is none, right?
Wherever they cooking up in the lab, it's time for y'all release party.
Speed it up. 60 days.
All right. That is it for politics. For more politics, make sure you hit us up, BroTalk Live. Yeah, no, it's been a lot. I'm sorry. Hit us up, BroTalkLive.com, and hit us up on our YouTube channel where we have a great politics section going. And with that, let's move to All right, I wanted to honor Angie Stone with the Family Feud, but I don't think we're going to have time for it, unfortunately. So we're just going to pay tribute to a legend in neo soul and R&B. Angie Stone passed away this weekend at the age of 63, a relative of our own Bill, who was taking it pretty hard. Couldn't be here tonight, but he did want us to pay tribute to Angie Stone, his cousin. A tragic car crash early Saturday morning took her life, but what she's left behind is music's history. If you know anything about neo soul, you know it wasn't just Angie Stone in the conversation that helped define the sound. The early 2000s had a wave of soul-driven R&B with artists like Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, and D'Angelo. But Angie, she brought a deep gospel-infused old-school flavor that made her stand out. From that song "No More Rain" to "I Wish I Didn't Miss You," she gave us hits with real depth, blending smooth, effortless vocals with storytelling that cut deep. So we do want to pay homage to Angie Stone, the first lady of Sugar Hill Records and an absolute legend in African American music. All right, Sorry, we don't have time for the Family Feud, but we ran a little bit over. Blame Trump. Moving on to Hit It and Quit It. Sorry, that was a little rough, rough little turn there. But we're going to move to Hit It and Quit It, and we have some news about Dex's. Dex, are you still a Drake fan?
I'm not a fan of neither one of these entities that we're about to discuss.
Oh, okay. Oh, beefing on two accords. Drake has officially settled his legal dispute with iHeartRadio over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. But let's be real. This whole thing is far from over. I don't think these two will be, going to any symposiums together anytime soon. I think it's dead for the foreseeable future between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. If you missed the drama, here's the short version. Drake accused iHeartRadio of taking illegal payments payola from Universal Music Group to boost radio airplay for Not Like Us. Basically, he's saying that the industry was breaking the game against him. Now, we do know that Drake and iHeart have reached a quote-unquote mutual resolution, but no details given as to what that means. Maybe if iHeart paid him, we really don't know who got what. We just
I can tell you one thing.
What happened?
iHeart didn't give him no money because they ain't got nothing to give. That I can tell you. That's a fact.
So here's the question. Since this is now one thing that's settled, and Drake seems to have some more in the pipeline, was Drake right to push back on this, or we'll just come back to bite him for radio airplay?
I think in this situation, Drake wins, but I think that it's if I'm iHeart, I'm looking at him sideways because from what I understand, my sources told me that basically Drake accused them of taking money to play the song or whatever, but they somehow proved that they didn't do that. They showed him paperwork that this is not what happened. This is why we played it. We're not really an innovative company, so we just play whatever we are told to play. That's just simply what they did, and that's just what it is. And Drake said he's okay with that. I think this will hurt Drake in the long run because you specifically named them, and now you're saying
and they're the biggest radio company in the world.
Yeah, and then you're now I'm going to take that back. So now I think people are going to look. I think iHeart still plays music, but I think other people named in this lawsuit will be he reneged on that. So clearly the rest of this is BS too.
Yeah, but also you have to understand, as you do, Dex, understand that Drake was getting preferential treatment, whether he was paying for it or not. Yeah. Across radio in the United States.
I don't understand why he did
not
this.
Being an American as that. Drake was getting preferential treatment with a lot of his records getting a lot more spins than they should have been because they weren't that popular songs. But he was always getting played, right? So I have to think this is going to come back to bite him. Eric, as someone who is a rap beef savant, as you would say, do you think this makes Drake look weak that he's filing lawsuits left and right about?
Aubrey been looking weak, so this is nothing there. Okay. He ain't been standing on business for a minute, so this is no different. He's Canadian. He don't care.
Ty, you still stand by your Drake's doing the right thing sort of take? Because Family Matters was a better song.
Say this again. I'm sorry. That last part.
Family Matters was a better song a few weeks ago on the show.
I don't like Not Like Us. I think I made that very clear. But do I think Drake did the right thing with the lawsuit? Yeah, I keep telling you guys, I do think it was the right thing to do. Now, did Drake benefit from the same thing that he accused them of doing? Yes, I agree with that as well. But I think that the lawsuit shed light, if you actually read through some of what he's alleging, shed light on just that music industry practice that in the long run, I do believe could help a lot of lesser artists.
Okay, but
not really that I care.
But Todd, do you think it made sense for him to name iHeart in this?
Yeah, you don't think this harm him at the end of the day, and you're the one who said that he was doing this as well.
This part here, what we're talking about, you don't think he looks crazy here?
Specific part, I wouldn't necessarily. Again, I wouldn't necessarily attack things the way Drake did it, but I do think it had merit. I think it had a lot of merit, and he should have. through.
Yeah, but now
No one
I
was
mean,
calling in requesting Family Matters.
but I think what's also weird about this is that like if you're saying that they paid to get this done, and the people who you're saying they paid essentially is iHeart, and now you're saying like, okay, we're gonna settle this outside of court, like this is not a thing, we're gonna leave it alone. Where's your case at this point?
Family Matters didn't even have a chorus. Like, you're over here getting behind a song that
So why do you keep trying to put the ball with him? He has a preference. He don't like the song.
It's stupid. It's a stupid preference because he's just trying to be different.
Like, here's the thing. People, like, this is a weird position that you guys put me in on this show. And I'm not this huge Drake fan. I'm really not. But we're collectively just in this weird trance.
It's not a trance.
No, it's like we're just like pretending like we obviously hate this guy. We always have, right? And then it's like anybody who can take him down, please do. So you're gonna line up behind this person no matter what. I mean, the song was not that good. I didn't think it was that great. We really hyped it up. Like, it wasn't that great. Like,
we started last year. I think it was March.
I mean, come on.
When I declared that Drake was his
listen to some of his new music, and it was. Let
me finish.
Let
me finish. I
he's
mentioned that
right.
Drake was as universal as potato chips. Did I not say that? I said, how can you not like Drake? His music is just ubiquitous with just a good time, and it's just non-bothersome music. I was the one who came through with that.
Yes, and can we just real quick just say like where that conversation stemmed from? It stemmed from me saying I'm not a Drake fan anymore, and you call me stupid, and then you said Drake is universal and all these other things like this. Ty, I have to disagree with everything that you just said because like I do feel like Jason and I we flip flop a lot when it comes to Kendrick and Drake. Lately, Jason has just been drinking the Kool-Aid, but like overall, I think we're pretty fair when it comes to this. You don't be listening to us.
That's it.
I call this a universal glaze, and you guys know, like we're accepting this ridiculous, like we're accepting this ridiculous hype up of this guy who's okay. Like, and I'm not buying a revolution.
Okay. No, that's enough from you.
Now watch on YouTube. They're gonna get you.
Is a top 5 rapper of all time.
Whatever. You're right.
All right, we just talked about Drake settling his case with iHeartRadio over Kendrick, but let's add a new layer to the drama because Serena Williams, Drake's ex, is making major moves right in his backyard. Serena is part of the ownership group for the Toronto Tempo, the WNBA's brand new franchise. Toronto, the 6, Serena. This comes just weeks after she was dancing on stage with Kendrick Lamar, Drake's biggest rival at the Super Bowl halftime show. Now, we're not saying that Serena's being petty, but the timing is very interesting. She's investing in women's sports, yes, but is there also being a little message sent by investing in a team from Toronto? So let's get into it and talk about it. Was this just a smart business move, or does it feel like a calculated power play right in Drake's hometown? Dex, what do you think?
Well, who's those people? The Valkyries in Oakland? Why couldn't she get in with them? Like, she was on the stage representing Oakland, right? Isn't that the name of the WNBA team in Oakland? The Valkyries.
That's the Golden State Valkyrie. Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't you try to buy them? Why are you like? What are you? She's a weirdo. Like, I think this is such a weird thing to do. It's stupid too. It's like she has too much money. She don't know what to do with it. Maybe you should go buy some people from Eggs. Go to Oakland.
Oh, you're really offended by this. Wow.
Eggs or something like that. Like, I just think this is so lame. And like, I understand the Kendrick Drake beef. You're married with a child. Grow up and leave this man alone.
But you don't know why she bought. I'm just asking the question.
I just think there's
going to war over it.
From a visual standpoint, why would you even want to do that? It's silly.
Because I'm on a team. They're available. I got money. That's not a good enough reason?
No, to me, it's no.
Respectfully, she's one of our heroes. She's one of the greats. I would never disrespect her in any way.
Well, that's interesting because y'all was talking.
Who was y'all?
Even the disrespect that she got for Crip Rock.
GAs. The GAs was talking about her. They said she looked like one of the things off of White Chicks. Like, truthfully, Serena Williams was getting disrespected left, right, up, and down up until like this Drake stuff. Like, truthfully, like, come on now.
Yeah, we're
not gonna pretend.
You would never hear slander from her for her coming from me. One thing I will say is I do hope that she's not doing this as a Drake thing. That would be really weird to me. Really, that it's just a smart business move. And I'm assuming that's what this is. I'm not going to disrespect this woman. Like, I think that she has a business mind, and I think spreading women's sports, and she's like a pioneer, and that's what she's doing. And that's got to be what she's doing. I know this icon is not like thinking about making these ridiculous moves just to spite Drake. That would be, I could not accept that.
Eric, Serena's a legend in our household growing up. How do you feel about her buying the Toronto?
I mean, she making money. I don't think it's that serious. And first of all, Dex, she's not from Oakland. She's from Compton.
Oh well, whatever. They can't buy no eggs either.
She's not from the Bay. She's not from the Bay. She's from Compton, and she's making money. I mean,
I know. I got no NBA team. I promise you that. I know they go.
I mean, hey,
go put the money over there with them ladies in Compton. Buy them an NBA team. NBA team.
But I guarantee you this now. I bet you Kendrick can get back in Canada now. He got a pass. He got a pass now. He's going to perform the halftime show on opening night. They go to head not like us in Toronto that night. I guarantee you.
Y'all are making me a bigger Drake fan than I have to be. That's all I have to say about this whole thing.
Charles Barkley never want to hold back. He's saying now that championship teams skipping the White House because of politics are just stupid. And to be clear, he's saying this is not just about Trump. Whether you agree or disagree with who's in office, he says you should respect the presidency. Now, here's where things get interesting. The Philadelphia Eagles, Dex's favorite team, just won the Super Bowl. And there were rumors flying that they might just skip out on meeting President Trump. The team has not come out and confirmed either way. But Charles Barkley is saying that they should go. This isn't the first time, of course, a team would have declined. We've seen NBA and NFL champions skip White House visits under multiple presidents. And it kind of always sparks a little debate. So let's get into it. Does Barkley have a point? Should athletes separate politics from tradition? Or is choosing not to go just as much of a statement as going?
Let me ask you a question. Let me just ask a question real quick, because I think we could be real quick on this one. I don't think that he may not be the person to speak on this. Maybe you guys can help me out. How many championships did Charles Barkley win?
0.
Okay. We can move on.
But let me say this.
Never had to go to the White House.
You never got the invite, so why are you worried about it?
Okay, but was it a big deal when Tom Brady skipped out on meeting when Obama was president? Did we make a big deal about that?
In office. Nope. I just don't think Charles is the one to speak on this. Like, you've never been.
It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't, to answer your question, Eric. No one mentioned it.
No, it wasn't a big deal when Brady didn't go to meet Obama. So I mean, why is it a big deal if certain athletes choose not to go to meet the idiot in DC? I mean, it's no big deal.
Remember when them boys went up? I think it was a college basketball team, I believe it was, where they went to the White House and Trump gave them like McDonald's and stuff. That was
the men's and women's college champions.
Yeah, that was amazing. I thought that was excellent. And for that though, if I ever won a championship, unlike Charles Barkley, I wouldn't go just because you're not gonna serve me McDonald's.
Ty, is not going to the White House as big of a statement as going to the White House in the first place?
I mean, it is a big statement. And number one, I just don't like this narrative that because you're an athlete, mean you have to be above this thing. Like, certain people in our society are above politics. Like, I'm not above politics. I'm seeing what's going on in the world, and I feel like I'm responding to it by saying I do or do not want to be a part of what's happening there and have every right to do so. Why am I being above politics if I'm seeing foolishness? Like, I have fans, I have a family, I have a lot going on, and if I feel like my people are being hurt by that specific person, I'm not going to go smile in their face and shake hands. I'm just not doing that. So I have every right not to do that. I think it's just stupid. It's a stupid line to say like, oh, certain people should be above politics. You should respect the office. Like, I'm not respecting.
You know where it all comes down to
the office when you put a ridiculous person in it.
Right, and it comes down to them saying, "Oh, well, our ancestors never had the opportunity." And it always comes down to that, right?
Our ancestors had the opportunity to build the office against their will.
Yeah. All right, Ty, you can sit this one out.
Thank you.
John Cena just did something we never thought we'd see. After 2 decades of being WWE's ultimate good guy, the hustle, loyalty, respect era, thank God, is officially dead. Because Cena turned heel at this weekend's, was this Elimination Chamber? Is that this one?
Yes.
Elimination Chamber. It's not called a pay-per-view anymore. It's called a
Premium live event.
Premium live event. There you go. Yeah, Cena shocked the world by brutalizing Cody Rhodes with low blows, blood, and Travis Scott apparently even damaged this man's eardrum by smacking him so hard. I don't know if that's true or not. If it's just
Well, if you've seen it, it is true. Yeah.
No, I think
it was very unnecessary too, which is part of my seat, but it was
Travis Scott very reckless. Now, this isn't just any bad guy turn. It's Cena's first real heel turn since the early, well, since ever. I guess he came into the league as a nobody, so maybe he was a heel. Who knows? But the man who granted the most Make-A-Wish requests in WWE history is now WWE
in the world.
Sorry, in the world's history.
Yeah.
Is now WWE's top villain. Do you think those?
Ty, this will be like Barack Obama turning into Donald Trump. It'll be that.
The reaction ridiculous. People losing their minds, kids crying, Twitter in flames. And let's be honest, Ty, you won't get this reference, but this is giving major Hulk Hogan NWO vibes from 1996.
I don't get it either. Who's Hulk Hogan?
Here's the debate. Was it the right move for Cena's legacy, or is it too little, too late for this to matter at all? What do you guys think?
Too little, too late. 10 years too late.
I agree.
And I hope 10 years too late. And I hope we take them freaking jean shorts off because
they said he gonna have black. They said he gonna have black shorts.
He need to do something, man. Grow a beard, something, because it's not believable, bro. I've been tired of them jean shorts for like 15 years, bro.
He gonna have
you
black.
Know what I mean? Them jean shorts and them Reebok pumps, man, and that crazy chain with the lock on it, man. I was so tired of that.
Word life.
Everybody sees you, John Cena, and we hate you. We hate you.
I disagree. I think this is actually, it makes the most sense, and he's aligned with The Rock, who also is a big fan favorite.
But The Rock was always both.
Yeah, but The Rock is The Rock is 10 times worse now than he was before.
Yeah.
And not even on some like television stuff, but just in general. Like The Rock is a part of the board at TKO now. So he literally comes back and takes over like an hour, and there'll be advertised matches. And this is real life. There's advertised matches that get cut because The Rock wanted to be in the ring singing and stuff like this. So like this man The Rock is a super villain. Yeah. But I think with the John Cena thing, like he announced that he's retiring. Like this is it for him. He's not wrestling anymore after
35 shows, right?
Yeah. We're halfway through him, so like he's not going to be wrestling more after a while. He's on the quest to win his 17th world title, which I don't know if that ties or beats Ric Flair. I think
I thought he already had 17.
No, he's at 16 now. And now he's
Ric Flair.
And now he's running for the 17th one. He won that Elimination Chamber, so he gets a main event match at WrestleMania. So he's going against Cody Rhodes. You have to do something to make this story fresh. Otherwise, it makes no sense, and it's super predictable that John Cena's going to win. Now that he's heel, it gives a little bit more character to the whole thing. Plus, John Cena is one of the reasons that Cody Rhodes won the title at last year's WrestleMania, because he was one of the run-ins who helped him win that title. So like this is a full circle moment, and it is very exciting.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I mean, I actually stopped watching wrestling altogether because of John Cena. Personally,
it wasn't our era. Like we weren't supposed to be watching him while he was like
it.
We weren't supposed.
I saw him and I was like, not doing that.
Right.
So I'm out.
He's a cartoon character for sure.
But let me ask you this, Dex. What's John Cena's end game? He's going to do his 35 shows and then ride off to making Tubi movies? Like, because
John Cena is like in demand. Like he's in Africa right now filming the movie. Like he's pretty big in Hollywood.
He's got the DC hookup. Sorry, not the Marvel.
Yeah, like he's pretty big in Hollywood.
And we don't watch DC movies, so who cares?
Well, truthfully, I don't think I've ever seen a John Cena movie ever.
However, Wipeout. He's on Wipeout. He hosts Wipeout now with Nicole Byer. He's on there.
He's gonna be a Tubi great.
No, John Cena really he'd be in like Chevy commercials and everything. Like I think he's in the Transformers movie.
Sponsor to wrap this up.
Okay.
I'm
talking
just saying.
about wrestlers. Ty doesn't appreciate it. For the scoop, BroTalkLive.com and also YouTube, and hit up our little scoops playlist. Now,
Ty, would you ever talk about Kendrick or wrestling?
Kendrick, for sure.
I got a question. I got a question.
All right, guys, this is Q&A. This is the part of the show where you Q and we do our best to A. The question, it says, Anthony Edwards, deadbeat or man of his word? So I just read the story about NBA star Anthony Edwards, and honestly, it's got me feeling some type of way. The dude straight up told the court he doesn't want custody or visitation of his daughter with an IG model. Just that he'll pay whatever child support is necessary. He's not fighting for shared parenting, not trying to be in the kid's life, just writing checks and calling it a day. The model, on the other hand, claims he completely cut her off when she told him that she was pregnant, even going as far as blocking her and saying their daughter would be a fatherless child. Now fast forward to today, and he is publicly celebrating the birth of his other daughter, the one that he has with his girlfriend. Naturally, the internet is dragging him, saying he's picking favorites and being a deadbeat. Now, here's where it gets complicated. On one side, if a guy knows he doesn't want to be a father and makes it clear, is it better that he steps away rather than being half-ass dad? But on the flip side, can you really call yourself a man if you knowingly bring a child into the world and just choose not to be there? So, what do y'all think? Does paying child support make it okay to walk away, or is this some straight up deadbeat behavior?
Can I say something before we start?
Sure.
I don't think this is what our Q&A is for. This seems like a forcing us into speaking about a topic that we could have brought onto our show if we wanted to. Like you asking, you should ask questions about your life. This is an open celebrity.
Are you chiding
that we chose not to talk about, and now we're being forced into it.
Are you chiding the Q&A question?
I'm just saying, like.
Can I just say,
I don't think I have any business commenting on baby daddy matters. I'm not something.
I think you do.
I'm going to just go ahead and sit this one out.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think that you should. I think that's probably part of the problem. I think that not enough men, especially black ones, speak on things like this. There are people that we're friends with, not us specifically, but there's black men who are friends with guys who do just this, actually less than this, because they don't take child support. They do these type. They have this behavior, and like nobody says anything. Their brothers, their sisters, their cousins, their moms, their aunts, their grandmoms, their friends, nobody says anything. Like it's okay to do this. Anthony wouldn't put out there publicly like this kind of behavior if he didn't think that it was fine. It's okay. I can do this. It's okay for me to do this, because nobody close to me, nobody who's important to me is going to open their mouth and say a thing about it. You not only fathered a child, but you very clearly cheated on your girlfriend to make this baby. This is disgusting behavior, and I think it's deadbeat behavior.
Maybe they were taking a break, like Dwayne Wade and Gary.
It doesn't matter if they were taking a break. It doesn't matter if they were taking a break or not. Like you take care of your child. Like their responsibility is not that child and responsibility is not a break for you. I just couldn't imagine having a child and not taking care of them. But also, I'm not a cheater either, so like I just couldn't imagine doing that either.
Yeah, I think both of these people are in this
I thought you were taking. I thought you were sitting out.
This child has two irresponsible.
I thought we were sitting this one out.
I am. I just think that the child has two irresponsible parents. So for us to go back and forth, and it's, I don't know, it's ridiculous.
Why? I don't understand why the woman's irresponsible. I mean, just because the man.
I can tell you how she's irresponsible.
What do you mean? How she irresponsible?
They didn't ask about her, so I'm not gonna get on her. But I can tell you after the show. I'll tell you about her.
Okay, well, I'm interested.
We're talking about him. Let's focus on him. They want to know about him.
I just don't think that it's fair that if Anthony Edwards doesn't want the child, then the child needs to die. Like, I feel like that's
he ain't got child to die. His ain't gonna take care of it.
Okay, but then you have the options are the child dies or that child grows up knowing publicly that the child's father doesn't want anything to do with it. Like, that is crazy to me. Like, why are those the only two options? You had an option to not have sex with this woman. You had an option not to do any of this, and you chose to take the risk. Yeah. Now you have what the risk has resulted in. and you have to take care of it. Like I don't see what the debate is in this at all.
And I don't think money is enough. I don't believe in it. I don't think giving somebody child support is enough. Actually, you know what? I don't.
You can have a rich kid, and the kid turns out to be terrible because the kid's wanting love from someone who doesn't want anything to do with them,
Publicly,
and that parent that on TV every day winning NBA MVPs. Like,
yeah.
Anthony Edwards is just a piece of ass for this, man. He's terrible for this, man. I mean, he's financially going to support his child, but he's not going to be there for, and that's just. And
he's expressed it, like, and I understand he had to express this part of the court filing. Like, I get that he didn't come out and do an interview and say this, like this was discovered in a court filing, but like, you still express that you just want to pay child support. You don't want any visitation. Right. Like
that's like you're treating your child like a cell phone bill. I'm just gonna pay it. I'm just paying the bill. Like that's all your child is to you is a bill.
That's basically what he's saying. She's a bill that I'm going to pay for 18 years, and after 18 years the contract is over. That's all he cares about. But if you remember when it first started out, I mean, if you saw the text message that he was sending the girl, like he told her from the jump, like. This is not what I want to be, but you should have put a hat on that soldier, so you wouldn't have had this problem.
That's your responsibility.
Yeah, you already have another daughter, so it's not like you don't want any kids at all. You just don't want this kid, and like that.
And it's also not like you don't know how these kids are made. You clearly know.
Right. Come on, be serious.
Hey.
We did good on that one. Sit him on the bench.
Appreciate
all right, guys. If you have questions, please let us know. Go ahead, and you can send us questions like this. I think we did pretty good with this.
I thought it was a great change.
Don't listen to Ty
instead of the boring relationship questions we get every week. This is a nice change of pace.
But if you have questions for us, go ahead and send them in to brotalklive.com/questions. Jason.
So press record and let you feel me.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Ty, I don't like that. Don't do that. This category is
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna let you continue.
The category this week is Cars. Cars 4. Is there a Cars 4 movie? I think it's Cars 3, right? It ends with 3. Is there a 4?
I think it might have ended it. I thought it ended it too.
I know. Definitely a 3. There's definitely a 3. I chose Cars 4 because we have 4 videos. It's not rocket science. But if there is a Cars 4, no copyright infringement, please don't sue me. Which clip moves on? These are clips taken from either a car or towards a car or cars somehow involved. All right, this one we call Pony Express.
Pony Express. Oh yeah, that's his teammate.
Damn.
What's crazy? Because I was really looking like, what is the point of this? What's gonna happen? Like, nothing's happening here.
I don't like when you surprise me like that. I can know stuff. Start sending me this stuff before, so I
got to screen it past you.
Practice my reaction. What in the world?
Okay.
Why do you see that side? just curious.
That's his partner right there.
Pony Express. All right, next up we have Runner Track Star. An old man trying to get away from the law.
Oh man, he running for 12, y'all. Oh, we got us a runner. We got us a runner. We got us a runner.
I just let the nigga outrun you. He's trying to look at him.
We got us a runner.
Why did you just let her walk like that? Like,
yeah.
He only came there for him.
He didn't even try to chase him.
Yeah, that cop was ordering his lunch while he was walking him down. He was like, hold up, bro.
One thing I will say is don't disrespect me. If I'm running that from the law, you chase me.
Put some effort in this.
You Jason, we in a horror film. Jason just walking after you. Like, nah.
He ain't even gonna have to tase him. He just gonna fall out.
Oh, he's gonna tase him for fun. You better believe it. Like you're gonna get tased.
He ain't gonna tase him, man. That dude just gonna give up and fall out, man. He'll be like, oh man.
All right, that was Runner Track Star. We hope he's okay. I need to do a wellness check on that man. Please, someone.
Well, check on all these people.
Yeah, and the horse.
Probably this one too.
Do you take him to the jail? Do you take him to jail or back to the old folks home? Which one do you do?
You gotta get fingerprinted.
Old folks.
Is it worth the paperwork?
No, not at all. Next up, we have Hit and Run. For backstory, the person that front. Payback? Are we even?
He kept going.
Yeah. You definitely pull up beside him and be like, "You dumbass."
Are we even after that? Is it?
I feel like I would feel so bad after. I would feel bad. I would do it. I'd be like, "Ooh, I did too much. Let me just go ahead."
You still want to take that license plate, Eric? You still taking that license plate?
No, we definitely not even. I need to see blood. I need to see blood.
It's there.
We're not even.
It's there.
We're not even.
Clearly.
And our current economy, I'm burning gas chasing you too. Oh yeah, we definitely not even, buddy.
Also, why does everybody have dash cams these days? I feel like every car has a dash cam these days.
I got one.
Got to.
Okay.
You
thing
definitely
now.
better have one if you get pulled over.
That's right. Kai, do you have one?
Yeah, I definitely have one.
I need to get one though, but I don't have one right now. Do you?
Yeah, I definitely have one. The cop pulled me over. He said, "Sir, you're currently under surveillance." I said, "So are you." So are you, buddy.
I'm in this TV show.
So tread lightly. Because you can go to jail too.
Last but not least, we have Crashed. And this is just unfortunate. A series of unfortunate events.
Sorry.
Fuck you, Mike.
Sorry.
Fuck you. What the fuck are you doing?
So I crashed.
What do you mean you crashed? I just hit my head.
Sorry.
No, stay there. I'll call the police.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Don't
I'm
go
not.
anywhere.
I'm not.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm not. I'm sitting on my
Don't
back.
go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Okay. Look, I'm getting off.
Is it bleeding?
No.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
Okay, go on, get your phone.
Are you fucking blind? You can't see me.
I crashed.
You crashed? How are you coming fast? Why are you fucking coming fast? What is this fucking car? Why are you coming fast? I just hit, you hit me, and I just hit the car with my head. You understand what I'm saying?
No, you gonna have to calm down because you're not gonna be talking to me.
Right.
He was standing over there trying to gather his thoughts.
Oh my god!
Don't play with me like that. And you just spinning it through my bike. Like, come on now.
His thoughts together. His brain.
He said, "Is it bleeding?"
He hit that man so hard he had his head underneath the wheel well, bro.
He gonna say, I crashed. I crashed.
He was like, "Don't go nowhere, bro. Don't go nowhere."
He said y'all go nowhere. Like, for like, why? What you gonna call? Did you need my license plate number? Like,
He had to think about what he was going to do next. He had no. He was concussed. He didn't know what to do. He had to wait till that fog wore off. You know, it was killing him.
He started getting so mad to like.
you could tell when his thoughts came back to his head too, because he got so pissed that he threw the bike.
Why are you going so fast?
Wow.
He really messed him up though, so I would be pissed too. Like what? He's like done to change a tire, and he really messed you up.
Yeah,
and I did think I saw a little piece of blood at the top of the head.
Blood top of the head, but he said yes, he would have put some blood in his mouth.
He said, "Nah, you cannot bleeding, boss. You good?"
Like clearly his head was bleeding. What are we talking about? No.
His brains like hang out of his head.
Yeah,
Like,
he was so messed up he couldn't even throw the bike far, man. He just threw it down. That man
Wait,
definitely had.
Did you hear the guy say, he goes, "That's not my bike." Yes, it is.
why are you going so fast? All right. So the contestants: Pony Express, Runner Track Star, Hit and Run and Hit, or I Crashed.
Oh, I crashed.
I crashed.
Okay, I Crashed is moving on to the BroTalk Live Awards. Does anyone have a seat? Because if so, I can play the imaging. If not, we can move on to the exit.
Oh,
I mean, we've already. But I can give a quick one.
Definitely have a seat.
Okay, Eric has a seat. We'll do seats.
Did somebody crash their bike into you while you were changing your tire? This is the space for you to express your displeasure with those events.
That wasn't even my tire. That was like someone else's tire. He was at work.
Not even changing your own tire.
Go ahead, E.
Yeah, my seat is for like the last 3-4 days on Twitter. Like the girl that put the guy on blast on Twitter for like sending her $30 for lunch, and she was like, "Oh, you're low budget," and sent it back. Like $30 wasn't enough for lunch. Like, what are you eating for lunch? Like really, like $30 you couldn't get something? You couldn't.
Like, we're not talking dinner. We're talking lunch. Dex, think about where you want your back to be, Dex, and then think about $30.
Right.
I feel like that aligns.
Well, if you go to Chipotle, you get you a bowl of some chips and some queso.
It ain't $30.
That's about $30. So I can understand.
You are not racking up a $30 bill at Chipotle, Dexter.
I don't reckon $30 bill. My Chipotle bill like $22.
I understand.
You want the dirt too? Like, what you want the 30 for? Just
like for real, like $30. Like what do you expect? What are you eating?
$20, $8 away. You can get.
This is why I was born a man and not a woman, because I'm with her. He sent me $30. Yeah. That's the best you can do.
Yeah, you gonna starve.
$30? What you want me to go to Subway?
Yes, something.
I look like a Subway type of bitch
for lunch. Yes.
Yo,
we're not doing Subway.
Oh, I'm saying.
I want to know how much of her own money is she spending on lunch every day, and then consider the fact that somebody else gave the money for lunch. And I felt like that's a reasonable amount of money. If you're like, oh, can you throw me some money so I can grab lunch? I think $30 is about what you would throw somebody. I don't think that means you're budget or you're like, what are you talking about?
Elon Musk is only giving y'all 30 minutes for lunch, so it's not like y'all gonna have these extravagant lunches where y'all can go to restaurants. So y'all gonna have to get it in and out quickly, and the only thing that y'all can get is this semi-fast food. So $30 is what it's gonna be, Dex. Like, what are you ordering for more than $30?
I just told you, I got a burrito bowl and some chips and queso.
All right, so you're trying to get these ribs and these rolls and these super salads and all this other stuff. Dex.
Am I not worth it?
You be drinking at lunch too, don't you?
I do not drink at lunch.
You gotta be. You gotta be, because even Chick-fil-A, man, you can go get you a Cobb salad. There ain't no $30 for Cobb salad.
My Chick-fil-A will be $20 too, and I'm not even gonna get into this.
That's because you get 30 mayonnaise packets.
Right. You buy bags of ice.
Everything that even you mentioned still comes under the price of $30. You might be walking up to $30.
He's greedy, and that's what these girls
are. Your bill is excessive. Like, nobody's going to Chick-fil-A and spending $30 for one single person.
And don't forget, Dax gets a meal and then he gets a filet to eat on the way home.
Right,
Like,
on the way home.
like,
Don't leave out the bag of ice. How much a bag of ice at Chick-fil-A now, Dax?
Well, since I've told you people about it, the bags of ice have gone up to damn near $2. So I won't be telling y'all anything else. I can promise you that. I think y'all are so ridiculous. If somebody has standards high, I have a daughter, and I'm going to tell my daughter, if a man sends you $30 for lunch, tell him to add $40 to that.
Like what?
For lunch. That's your lunch. And if he can't do it, the next man will.
Dax, I don't even want to tell you what that guy's going to tell your daughter. When
I know he's going to tell her he's going to send her the money.
When she asks for $70 for lunch.
Ask. She's not asking.
Exactly. Dex want that meal for two. He's trying to get sponsored just like his daughter.
Well, I do sometimes like to get something for later on. I like to get something for later.
That's what I'm saying. You need a meal and something to eat on the way home. That's not appropriate.
Exactly.
Well, Eric, I didn't get like this just by eating one meal a day either.
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
I'm with the girl. Get your money, lady. And it ain't like she said anymore. She said she sent it back. Return to sender. That's respectful.
That's what's up. Starve, swallow your own spit. That's cool.
And she said, I got my own money. I don't need yours.
She could have got half a lunch from him and half a lunch from somebody else if she wanted all that.
Right.
You hustling back.
She could have put her money to it if she wanted something more.
Why would I put my money to it? Again, this is why I was born a man and not born a woman, because there is no way I'm not digging in my purse for nothing.
Dex,
I don't want you.
If you can't find something for $30, Dex, to eat for lunch, and it costs more than that, then you put your own money to it.
Dex, I'm texting tomorrow asking for lunch money. That's all I know.
And this is why I don't even understand why Ty is even in this conversation. Ty goes to lunch every single day. I see it. He goes to lunch every single day, and I know he'd be spending more than $30 on lunch a day.
I barely eat lunch. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, the Venmo says otherwise.
Pull it up.
Why are you checking people's Venmos?
That's a seat that I didn't have for myself. But like I do that. Like I'll go on Venmo to be like, what are people doing? Like what
that is weird.
I know I do. It's like how
that
y'all
is
be.
Pull it up. I haven't been on lunch in 2 years.
You know how y'all be on social media, y'all be on Twitter, y'all scroll on Twitter.
I be on Nextdoor.
On Venmo.
I do. I scroll on Venmo to be like, oh, what y'all eating?
I just scroll on neighborhood next door. I like to know. I
love Nextdoor. Nextdoor is the best place for that.
I got to know what the neighbors got going on, but that's it.
Just real quick, we kind of touched on it already with the WWE. Like I think perfect example is we're talking about the John Cena heel turn on this show. This happened on Saturday night at their premium live event. People were so excited about this. So many people have been texting me about it. Like, oh, I can't wait till Monday night to see what happens with John Cena and The Rock and blah, 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 blah. Monday night rolls around and people are texting me like, Dexter, where's John Cena? Where's The Rock? What's happening? When are they going to come out? And like, it's a disservice to fans to have something happen. Like back in the day, something would happen on a Sunday night pay-per-view. And then on Monday night, we get the fallout from it. It makes no sense for y'all to be doing these things on a Saturday. And then these stars, these part-timers don't show up for months. And then people are supposed to still be invested and still care. Enough is enough. Y'all got to stop doing that.
That's why I stopped. I can't do it.
I can understand it.
I have access to the WWE Network, but I just watch the old stuff because I can't do this new style of wrestling business and storylines and timing and part-time people. And they come in and they immediately get top billing over the people who've been there that I've been watching for the last year and a half. So it's stupid to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm with
Ty, you ever want to go back?
No, I'm with you, man. I just can't do it anymore. I just watch the old stuff.
Too much for you, Ty?
Yeah, it's like I can't take it.
All right. I don't have a seat. Are we good?
We're all good. I think our hearts and minds are clear.
Awesome. Don't forget, follow us on all of your social media channels. Twitter, X, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all at BroTalk Live. We have that handle everywhere. And don't forget to actually link up to our Twitter channel because we've been doing some great work posting the latest news every day. So follow us if you're wondering what's going on throughout the week. our page is a great resource for all of that. Thanks to Dex for helping me curate some of that stuff. And also TikTok is pumping. Hop in our comments.
The YouTube is really good too. Like a lot of people are
Argue
subscribing
with
to
the
YouTube.
people because they
And they're nice. They were nice this time around on YouTube.
they were?
It's crazy.
Okay.
They're not usually nice.
Yeah, super mean on YouTube. I don't know what's up. Like, don't do that.
They're feeling the pressure, feeling the squeeze. All right, for Ty, for Dex, for Eric, this has been another edition of Bro Talk Live. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.